There is a question hidden beneath the story of Cain and Abel that reaches beyond the pages of Genesis. It is not merely what offering did they bring, it was more about the mark that the offering leave upon them. Now, because every act in obedience leaves an imprint upon the soul, every sacrifice shapes character. Now, every response to God's voice engraves something deeper into who becomes and what you become. God asks for an offering from both of them, and from both the brothers came an offering. Both stood before the same God, both brought something from their lives, yet heaven responded differently to each. Cain brought from the fruit of the ground. Abel brought from the firstborn of his flock and their fat portions. The choices part the life he could never reclaim back. The difference was not vegetables versus animals. Throughout Scripture, God receives grain offerings, wine offerings, and first fruit offerings. The issue was never the material. The issue was the heart. The brother gave something while keeping himself. The other gave something that cost him a life. One offered productively, the other offered in a surrender. One gave from what he could continue producing tomorrow, and the other gave a life that once offered could never be claimed in return. And it still the question before us today. When God asks us something, we all have a choice. Not whether we will obey only, but how we will obey. Will we give what costs little, or will we give what is convenient, or will we give everything? Will we help only when there is no inconvenience to ourselves? Will we love only when it is safe? Or will we bring before God the first and the best and the last, like the woman who had to bake from her last grains of flour a bread for the priest and the prophet, knowing that tomorrow she will die if there's nothing else. The offering that costs us something, the offering that requires trust, the offering that says, Lord, once this placed in your hands, I cannot take it back. It is all yours now, I have nothing left. Abel's offering marked him before God, not with an ink mark, not with a visible symbol, but with faith. Hebrew tells us, by faith Abel's offered unto God a more excellent sacrifice. Faith leaves a mark. Obedience leaves a mark. Love leaves a mark. In Revelation we find another mark. The servants of God are sealed upon their foreheads. The Greek word is sargis. And the royal seal, a king's imprint. In ancient times, a king would press his signet into wax upon a document. This seal declared ownership of that document, authority, authenticity. It proclaimed this belongs to the king. The servants of God are sealed because they belong to him. But there is another beautiful picture hidden in the Hebrew language. The Hebrew word shachak or tochak means to engrave, inscribe, carve into stone, something permanently etched into the stone of stones, the cornerstone. Not in a moment, not in comfort, but through repeated obedience to God, through daily surrender. Jesus was obedient to the Father. Through choosing God's way when another path seems easier is not full obedience. Every act of faith becomes another engraving upon a heart. Every sacrifice we do, another line in the image of God, is forming within us. The mark we carry is often invisible to people, but heaven sees it. God sees it. Character is a mark. Kindness, characteris. Christos, which means kindness. Christ is a mark. Faithfulness is a mark. Mercy is a mark. Generosity is a mark. Humility is a mark. There are the fingerprints of the King upon his people. This is why Jesus stands as the complete opposite of Cain. Cain took a life by killing Abel out of jealousy because of the reward God was going to give Abel for surrendering everything. Jesus gave his life. Cain protected himself by giving from something that he could claim back tomorrow. Jesus emptied himself. A life cannot be taken back. Cain became the angry when the offering was not accepted. Jesus became obedient even unto death. The cross reveals the greatest offering ever given. Christ did not offer what he could spare. He offered everything, his strength, his comfort, his reputation, his body, his blood, his very life. Nothing was held back, and because he held nothing back, his name is exalted above every name. The pattern remains the same for us. God still asks his people to carry burdens of each other, to forgive, to serve, to encourage, to give, and to help each other, to love those who cannot repay back, to walk with the hurting, those who hurt, to walk with them, not to show them away as unfaithful or disobedient to God because they are not prosperous, healed, better. Jesus sat with the prostitutes, with the sinners. There was a reason why he chose the broken of heart, the poor, to stand beside the lonely, to feed the hungry, to pray for the broken. The question is never merely whether we do these things. The question is how we do it. Do we offer them like Cain, and we can still claim back tomorrow? Giving only what remains after we have secured ourselves? Giving while keeping one hand on what we fear we might lose? Giving from a place where we can still reclaim everything if necessary? Or do we offer them like Abel, trusting God enough to release what is precious, trusting God enough to place the first and the best upon the altar, trusting God enough to say, Lord, even if it cost me my life, you are worth it. The mark we carry is formed by choices. Every day we are becoming something. The soul is never standing still. We are either shaped into the image, self-preservation, or the image of Christ. One's mark leads east of Eden into the restlessness and wandering. The other leads into the deeper communion with God. One says, my will. The other says, your will be done. One clings, the other surrenders. One protects himself, the other trusts in God's blessing, even if all is lost.